Hey, yo, good morning, guys. I am, in fact, here. Coffee Talk. You'll notice Pilgrim is not. He is prioritizing family as it should be. As it should be. He's doing the grandpa thing. How's everybody doing? I am, I'm good. Not bad. I'm cold. It's cold. It is. And I know some of you don't want to hear it, but we're not built for it down here. I mean, I'm built for it, but the house is not built for it. The infrastructure is not built for it. 24 degrees right now. 26 at my house, but 24 up at the airport. Feels like 10. Sheesh. My heater's been on all night, and it's a heat pump style, so it's not really doing much. I mean, it's keeping it above the 60s in the house, so that's a good thing. Heat wave going to make it into the 20. Yeah. Well, we're going to come out of it. It's going to be in the low 30s again tonight, but it won't be in the 20s. We'll touch 40 today, so we should be back to it here. Minus 18C with the wind chill of minus 27. Jeez. Yeah, that's really low for here. Ice covered street. Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of you guys have just dealt with that big storm, right? We got the cold from it. But we didn't get the snow. I guess there were some snow flurries supposedly in Tampa yesterday. I heard. Changed your. I don't know if that word was supposed to be that word. Was that the word you meant to write in there? Stickler. Good morning. Eighth Hustlers, NATO Tiger, Wayne. Who else is in here? Nothing special. Grendel's here. Good morning, guys. So I played a little bit, mostly trying to survive the cold. Did get some work done on the grill project, though. Of course, that had to go sideways at some point, which it did. Your twat. Okay. Twatch name from Oh Brute to NATO Tiger. All right. Finally say it was warm as Florida. Yeah. 10 freedom units where you are, yeah. Man, we are chilly this morning. So I had to build the headers and frame out the posts so I could put the roof on the grill section. So I'm gonna have a little roofed outside grill area on the side of my screen room so I can go out there and grill, and I don't have to put the grill on the screen room. I can do it outside next to it. And sunk the posts, as you know, did all that stuff, and then I had the 2x6s to frame out the top. Got the lag screws, had 3 sides done. 3 sides done, good to go on the last about 10-foot run of a 2x6. And it's at an angle, so we had to cut the ends at a slight angle. So we're, putting up there, measuring it off of the 4x posts. And we were cooking at that time. And I was thinking, we got this. So we slapped that 2x6 up there. I zip a line. Buddy zips a line. Take it down. I'm thinking, as I do this, because we've been joking, we just had a cold pop. And I'm thinking, I've done this project all day today, and I haven't had to run back to the store even once. And I almost said that to him. I'm like, nah, I don't want to jinx it. It's a funny joke, but I don't want to jinx it. So I just let it go. Get out the saw, zip, take that thing back up there, try to set it in, and it's short. And I almost took the measuring tape across and then double checked my measurement. I also didn't do that, obviously, because about the time I said, I was thinking to myself, I haven't gone back to the store. I'm like, you really should measure that twice. I'm like, no, we got this. And well, yeah, that was my fault. I actually measured it at the front. When we slapped it up against the 4x4s, I measured it at the front edge of the 4x4, not the back edge, which is where it needed to go. So of course, if you measure at the front edge of the 4x4, when you try to put it up, you don't have the wood you need to connect to the 4x4, do you? No, you don't. Yep. Yep. So then, because the universe often hates me, and eventually it is going to get me, even for telling a joke in my own cranium that I don't share with anybody. Go to the store yesterday when it's freezing cold, and screw it, I need to go get the wood anyway. I'm not going to do anything yesterday, but I just wanted to go get the stuff. So I needed more lag screws because we ran out, miscounted those. And I go in there, I get the wood. I got to wait around because naturally I'm there early, and what's going on the aisle where all the wood is at Home Depot? Well, of course, they're rearranging all the wood, and they've got the gates up and the forklifts in there. So the second I'm there, I can't get the whole row is where I need to be. So I go to the rest of the store, get some stuff I need. I go to lag bolts to get those. I'm looking at them. I can't remember the freaking length that I used. And for some reason, I convinced myself, again without actually checking, because there's plenty of wood in the store. I could have grabbed a couple pieces of wood and figured this out. But because I think I know everything, I'm just going to grab the 6-inch lag screw. I'm like, yeah, it's a 2x4 and a 4x4. 6 inches must be what we use. Well, of course, first of all, 2x4 and 4x4 is no longer actually 2 and 4. So even if it was, it would go all the way through, right? 6 inches and still, I don't know what I was thinking. I needed the 4.5 inches, but I get the 6 inches like an idiot. Grab those, get the wood. I have to run in and get the wood fast because they're like, hey, go in there and get it, and then we'll stop what we're doing. I'm like, great, let me just, hold on, guys. I don't need many pieces. I just need a 2x6, a 2x4, and some 1xs because I'm going to use those as the rafter things across top. So I get in there, I get the wood, I grab the 1x as fast as I can, and off I go. I get home, and I'm unloading the 1xs, and one of the 1xs on the other side that I didn't look at because I was in a hurry has a freaking knot that no kidding goes 2/3 of the way across, and it's already got a hole in it. So it's just, you take that 1x, you just go, and it snaps in half. I'm like, great. So that's been my project day for the last 2 days. Project day for the last 2 steps forward, 1 step back. What's great about it is it's all lessons I've learned multiple times. Kind of like World of Tanks play. I do something and go, I knew that wasn't going to work. I've tried that a million times, but I don't know why this time it was going to, I thought it was going to work. Tier 9 light tank must be the worst in the game. Very low chance to get tier, bounce a light, because you're dealing very often with tier 8s and they have CBS. Yep, there you go. I just read the rest of it. Yeah, absolutely. Tier 7 light tanks are tough. Now, if you get a tier 7 and below game, then it's fine. Watt has trained me for this frustration. Is Watt training me for it, or is life training me for Watt? It's hard to tell. That's a chicken egg thing. Which came first, Watt frustration or life frustration? Yeah, try not to freeze it. I was going to. My buddy, I was talking to him. We were going to go out there and do it. Put that last stringer up. Maybe even put the 2x4, and I got hangers for that one because I'm going to need one thing across the middle. It's not very wide. It's about an 8-foot width, but I'm going to need at least one 2x4 in the middle. Otherwise, the middle will sag. We'll put 1xs across the top to screw the corrugated metal into. But I unloaded it and it was windy too. Like it's both like 30 degrees and 15-20 knot winds with gusts. And I got kind of halfway through it and went, you know what? Or got unloaded all my stuff, and I just called my buddy up and like, dude, we're not doing this. We live in Florida. There's zero reason. This should be kind of a fun thing on a weekend. Get a couple beers, do some work, have a beer, do a little more work. It's not like I have to have it done. I'm not on any schedule, so I just called him up and said, man, we're gonna wait till it's not feels like 15 degrees. I was thinking about that, Kedge, when I was getting the stuff, because I was all bundled up, about as bundled up I think as I've ever been around here, going to Home Depot and grabbing the wood and then pushing it out in the cart, loading up on the back of the truck, all that stuff. And it occurred to me, because they were all in there getting stuff. You're working construction or outside. You just got to deal with it. I think especially north of here, around here, what's interesting around here is when it gets like this, very often construction sort of just stops. They don't. You know, oh my gosh, it's 10 degrees. We're stopping. I was thinking Alaska and the north, North Dakota, upstate New York, all the, Maine, those places in the winter. Unless it's an active blizzard, a lot of times they're just still doing the work. I need to do that, Odd Dog. I need to find a better wood source around here. It's never. I don't do a whole lot of construction, and it's not like a house. It's not like something. I mean, I don't want it to collapse. Obviously, I use as good a piece as I can, but it's not a massive factor with what I build, I guess. And I do go through the wood and make sure I get the piece I want. But I would imagine if I could find a good lumber yard, I could definitely get better wood for sure. It's noted. That's a good piece of advice right there for sure. The bummer is that, well, for your basic stuff, a lumber yard's going to have the screws and the nails and all that. But oftentimes when I go to a place like Home Depot or Lowe's, there's several things I'm getting, and they just happen to have all of it at one place. That's right. Or you cut it too short. Cutting it too long, not a problem. Too short, problem. It did cross my mind for about 5 seconds to somehow sister in a piece and just say screw it, but my better angels won out on that one. But it is going to be a roof over people's heads, so I don't want some janky sistered in stringer up there that someday decides to give up. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I've got the truck. I don't use it as a truck often, but when I do, it's great to have. Especially the first event was the hurricane when I brought back a bunch of supplies. I had just bought that truck 2 months before. That would have been a whole different story trying to get stuff back and forth during the hurricane if I didn't have that truck. Yeah, man. Let's see. So, what are we doing? Channel wise, I'm just working on the Kreslovsky. I did get the Udarny, by the way. We'll talk about the auction in just a minute. The new lot's up as well, but I've been playing the Kreslovsky. We're sitting at 54%. Yeah, 54% with 85 battles. Over 1,000 experience a game, so doing pretty well with this. It's a bog standard Russian heavy. I guess it's not bog standard Russian because it's not one of the IS-3 Kirovet's angled front things, but it is bog standard in that it's slow. It's a cyclical gun. You play it like a heavy. Essentially, there's not a whole lot of creativity, I would say, going with this thing. It is a goofy looking tank though. What's the lot right now? It's all reskins, right? So this mysterious container opened once and will randomly drop a tier 8. Now I have all of these. These are all reskins. So you get a Meal or a Mars, so it's Progetto or Burr. TVP, which is the Sotec, GSOR 1008, which is the auto-loading TD, or the C45, is that right? Stone Sentinel. So those are all reskins. If you don't have one of those are all actually pretty good tanks. It looks like I do have the Meal. Okay, so it's got a check mark on the Meal. Now, did I read this right, that it will randomly give you a choice, but if it picks one you've already got, you just get nothing, and it won't go to the one you don't have? Is that what I'm reading? Doesn't seem to be any information. Consignment drop each of them probably you will not receive. Okay, you will not receive one you already own. All right, so I would get one of the 4. That makes way more sense. I must have read it incorrectly. So I would get one of these 4 if I did it. Now, that being said, kind of a I don't know about this as a auction thing, but the good news is those are all more or less meta tanks. They're all pretty good. And 7,200 is a pretty good price for a tier 8, I believe, if I am not mistaken. What is that? $25 or something like that? Let's see here. $32. All right, I guess it's not that great of a deal. That's more or less a standard tier 8 price. But if you've got a bunch of gold from Christmas, which was already heavily discounted, what are you spending your gold on? Good question. Might be worth it, especially if you don't have one of those tanks. Yeah, you don't get to pick, Grendel. Stickler got the Udarny. Saw a guy once trying to bring home lumber on a motorcycle. Oh my god. Sheesh. Thought about the Udarny. We don't need any more heavily. Yeah, Grendel, we're gonna actually talk about that. I've got some of them queued up, but by my count, and I counted the ones that weren't autoloaders and weren't the boxy KV versions, there's 9 of those in the game. Of the kind of angled front IS-6, IS-3, Defender, 252U. I guess those, maybe there's 8 because I counted the 252 and the Defender twice. So really I need to count them once. So there's 8 of those. Essentially, they play exactly the same kind of tanks. Jade Coil is the G-SOR 1008. You have the Mars, but haven't played it yet. Yeah, I thought I had the Mars, but I don't have a little check mark. So I wouldn't want. Actually, I don't want any of those. I've got the regular version of all those. There's chasing all that stuff at this point just isn't a thing. So even though I have a ton of gold, those aren't even tanks I'm interested in. Even as a collector, it doesn't matter at this point, really. Oh, you got the G-SOR GS 1008. Did you already have? Well, no, you didn't have the 1008. Well, you got a new tank now, right? Because you didn't have the 1008 version. Anybody else going to do it? Who else is going to do it? Who else did it? Let us know. This is the last lot, right? Wait, what? You did have the G... Oh, right. See, I'm getting those mixed up. It's only these. Oh, see, that's even a worse deal, isn't it? Oh, geez, yeah, okay. Right. So having a Progetto or a TVP has nothing to do with this. It's just these versions of those tanks. Got it. So there's a danger. Basically, you end up with a duplicate. That's no good. Oh, the children. Yeah, well, you know, the children. I'm letting that go, man. I'm letting that go. So that's been that. You might as well talk about it now. We don't really have a sequence of events today since Pilgrim's not here. So the special offers. What did we have? I know that was bait. That was bait. That's bait. The FL10, the toxic little car. Are there more of those in the game right now? As in playing, I played a little bit yesterday. Didn't particularly notice it covered up in FL10s, so they sold that. What else? What else was there, guys? There was the Udarny, which I got. That's a new tank. There was the Triumphant, which is just a Centurion, right? So the Triumphant, which is just a Centurion. Yeah, reskin. Yep. Triumphant reskin, and then there was 2 reskins, right? There was also the... Nope, SPHT was not a reskin. So that was actually another new... I wish I'd have got the SPHT. There's some high damage games with that thing. And that was it. Right, so FL10, SPHT, Triumphant, Udarny. I'm missing one, aren't I? Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's right. So this, Udarny, Triumphant, SPHT. Yeah, okay. That's all 5. Yeah, there's some big damage SPHT games out there already. I found one with over 10,000 already uploaded. The Udarny went up a little bit. I got it for 10.6, I think. Which was I just did the mid-range one. There were only 6,000 something bids in, and there were 5,000 tanks. So you can expect a good number of those, they just bid and walked away. So it didn't jump up much at the end. I kind of expected a little bidding war thing to go on, but because it only sort of crept up, I figured there were right about the same amount of people bidding for it that there were of it. It's not really explaining that very well, but I think you understand what I mean. So we go tier 9 heavy. Trying to see what the it's a US tank. Filter. Search. All right. And then we'll go damage. Check this out. Is it still like it was? Pretty much. There's 2 tanks, 3 tanks really, but 2 particularly dominating the high damage right now. So, and these are only uploaded games, so it's not all the games. But 10,000 damage, almost 11 with 7 kills. That's the SPHT. Concept 1B, which is not a surprise. SPHT, SPHT, SPHT. Then we got the AE Phase 1. Concept, concept, concept. So concept, really good. As everyone knows. What's the damage? So these are all 9,000 damage games, and then we got a couple 10,000 damage games with the new SPHT. Yep. So many light armored tanks playing. May want to play Cobra with HE. Just melt them. So that's the Benedict special offers. And then there was also a free experience sale. 100,000 free experience for $5. Where's my... There we go. No, that's credits. There's free experience. Do this. So I'm going to want 100,000. Yeah, so that's 4,000 gold. What's 4,000 gold worth? Probably more than $5, right? Or 6. I think it's $5.99. I think it's $6. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, that's a $20 deal. You're definitely getting a deal on that. And that's this thing here. Featured, I think. Yeah. It's also in your client. You can get to it, I think, but it's this thing, it's this deal right here. I guess we're shilling now. So for $5.55, you can get 50,000 free XP and guaranteed another 50. Says potential extra. So you're either going to roll 50, 150, 250, or 500. I mean, if you gambling, if you hit it, you're getting a decent amount, provided you buy free XP with gold / buy gold with money and then turn it into free XP. You know, do that calculus in your head. You got 300, so you came out way ahead, at least in that calculation, the way that Wargaming values the free XP. So that was pretty good. So you got 300, so you hit the 250. You were one away from the top. You did it twice and got 100. Okay. Which, honestly, this is till 12:33. Or sorry, 12:33. Has 12 hours left on it. So basically today. Usually this kind of stuff shows up when they're about to do some XP thing. Right? So and the going rate on the thing for XP has been 1 million free XP. Yeah, 1 to 100. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. It's definitely a good deal. You know, for $5, you spend $5. Hell, I lost $5 yesterday when I bought a piece of wood that broke in half as soon as I got it home. Could have had free XP, one less 1x4, and I'd have had 100,000 free XP. You're good, Kedge. Although, you never know. There could be inflation. Maybe the next tank will be 1.2 million and not 1 million. Who knows? Cost you $5 to put air in a work. Oh my gosh. Only because you were away from the garage. That's something I need to get. I don't know why I've been putting it off. I need to get a air tank. I'm trying to think of the damn word. Compressor. I need to get a compressor and a tank. Or a combo. I don't know why I don't have one of those. Mostly because I don't have a big garage. I just have a shed. So it just sits in the shed. But they're very useful, though. Very useful. I have an electric pump for putting air in the tires. Had a helper who spent the entire first shot overfilling the tire so it ran out before I could do the other 3. The electric ones work. I mean, I haven't had a problem with it, but you got to have electricity. The nice thing about a tank and a compressor is fill that up and take it somewhere. Now, you only get, obviously it needs electricity too, but he's got a nice nail gun set up. That really helped with the fencing piece, man. All right, so there you go. That's what else are we showing with? We got Battle Pass still here. These are still available for the RoboCop thing. 6 days left for that. Is RoboCop still going, or is that over? No, I guess RoboCop's over. But you can still buy. You can still buy, baby. We got this situation with the free XP. We got a couple tanks. That's reinforcements. A couple premiums out there. These are Frontline, which I think starts tomorrow. So Frontline type tanks, T-44, the Nemesis. I guess the Alpine. I don't know if these are really Frontline. The T-44 seems to be popular in Frontline, but I don't know about these two, the Nemesis and the Alpine Tiger. It's crazy this is still being sold. Preferential matchmaking. Weaker than other tier 8 premiums, but doesn't see tier 10. Used to be a huge advantage, not so much anymore. The problem is there's just too many other tier 8s that are tiered 8.5 or 9, essentially. Yeah, T-44-100 is not a bad tank. And it's premium, so it makes extra money. That's what you're trying to do if you get into Frontline. Yeah, Prague, Ares, Borovsk are all great Frontline tanks. Fast mediums. and autoloaders on auto reloaders are really good for frontline, just for dumping out damage. Because you can run away and fix your tank and do other things, reload it, all that good stuff. That's right, Cliffy. Not what it once used to be. I have great win rates in my preferentials, but I don't play them anymore. That was from 8 years ago now, probably maybe 10. But you could, if you're a good player back in the day and you had preferential matchmaking, it was a massive advantage. Good question, Nothing Special. I mean, you're absolutely going to see people running it, just to at least see how it works. I think it'll be good, but I don't know, because a lot of the engagements on Frontline are from a little bit further away, aren't they? And it's not a terrible sniper, but I just don't think it's going to be quite. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it will be. That's a good question though. I'm not going to come down on one side or the other on that. I'm not sure. I think maybe the distance of a lot of the engagements might limit it a little bit, but I could be wrong. I mean, I guess when you get all the way to the back on some of them where you've got more, especially the city one, where there's a lot of roads and stuff you can run around. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that, Cliffy, as far as, yeah, if you can get on a cap and just gun people down. And that's a factor. That happens. I mean, that's a big part of the game, big part of gameplay for, especially defense. If you can get down there, somebody drops some smoke and you can get in there and take on the guys trying to cap you out, cap the cap there, you can do some good work that way. And of course, it has so many shots. I guess that's a big thing. Think about that, because all you got to do to decap them is damage them, right? And it has so many shots it can put out. You just spray it at basically all the guys on the cap, and don't think they really tested that before they. Oh, they don't give a shit. They don't. There is zero thought on tank releases and how it affects. It's barely any thought on how it affects randoms. Never mind frontline. That's a. What's the word for it? That's a absolute statement, which are always wrong. But you understand what I'm saying. I don't. If there was any, it wasn't much. I think you're right, NATO. It'd probably be good. Will it become meta, kind of like a Progetto? I don't know. It's very good, so I don't know why it wouldn't. Yeah, those tanks were very good in randoms as well, and they're very good. Mobility, lots of burst potential, lots of shots that they can take. Oh, really? But isn't Onslaught mostly heavy stuff? Isn't the meta heavy mediums and heavy tanks and heavy TDs? I haven't played it much at all since the very beginning, so it's been a year or two since I've even touched it. But as I recall, it really moved. It seemed like it moved to just heavy stuff. Good plan, Wayne. That'll keep you alive most of the time. Most of the time. All right. Yeah, there's nothing else to shill for. I'm going to go back to the... what is going on in here? I haven't looked at missions for a while. I don't think there's much to report. No, nothing to report. 2-watt salute, 1-watt salute reinforcements. Holy cow. If you don't have watt salute, you would have exactly one thing on this page, and it would be the ×5 combat XP bonus line. Wow. Huh. So, not much going on there, fellers. Wayne is a financial planner, absolutely. You have one thing in extra? You don't have a bunch of ×5s sitting around like I do? But some of these are for specific tanks. I've got... how many of these do I have? 400. What? All right, who can beat me on the times fives? Oh, you have. Okay, so Grendel already got me. I have 455. That's crazy. And then these others are for specific tanks. The 4190, the TS5, the Sturv 81. For some reason, the T1E6 and the T92. Quotal has over 1,000. Cliffy has 1,700. Well, you're ready to. What is it? You're ready to field whatever it is. Field upgrade. Can't even think of the daggone word right now. Field mod. You're ready to field mod, and you're ready to unlock every tier 10's, whatever those are called, upgrades. The times fives are kind of interesting because if you sort of play a couple different tanks a day, oftentimes, first of all, you have to clear the times 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever the standard day one is, right? Because you don't get it on the first. And that only clears if you win. And then once that clears, you only get the times fives if you win. So if you play a tank a couple times, win one, lose one, you don't use a times five. Right, Cliffy, exactly, yep. So diving into, you have to kind of want to get to the times fives. Like you need to sit down and play one tank. NATO's got 880. That's an interesting number. He's got the snowman, triple snowman. So the times fives don't really get used as fast as you might think unless you're really grind. You know, if you were doing field mods on a tank or you were working on a tier 10 or tier 11 and trying to get all of the upgrades, those can be huge. If you're grinding a tank out, trying to get modules or grind to the next tank, huge. Like when I sit down and eventually get to the Ares, they'll be very useful for that. Same, Grendel. I'll turn on my personal reserves, and most of the time I don't play through the whole hour of the personal reserves these days. That's right, top 10. I forgot about that other requirement. You're right. So you can actually win B11 through 15 and still not trigger the times. That's right. I forgot about that. You haven't received any Ares blueprints? Really? I saw somebody post that either on Discord or Reddit. I don't remember which. But I think somebody said they had some, but I don't know. I might be misremembering. Looking forward to the Frontline playlist instead of having to scroll across all the tier 8s in the garage to get my next tank. Oh, right. Yeah, you can set up your own playlist. That's cool. Now, are you saying you used the playlist system to set one up, or is there something special with Frontline that you do that with? We were talking about, I have received nationals since the line came out, but okay, well, there you go. So no one has seen a specific tank one. That feels like, that whole system feels like abandonware to some extent, to be honest with you. But I guess they still are things that you get in Battle Pass, so maybe not. Maybe it's not. It just is kind of in the background, isn't it? I don't use them necessarily because I like to grind out the tank. But it absolutely helps to accelerate the grind, that's for sure. All right. Let's move on to subjects du jour. This is sort of grim, but we're gonna watch it anyway. You guys ready? It's a little bit hard to watch.
Hey there, tankers. Captain Tydo here, and welcome back to another What Monthly episode. I'm here to bring you important dates.
This is the part where I become the insufferable American? If that dude walked down the street, you would immediately know he's from Europe, and you would probably pretty quickly... Actually, I don't know if he's... No, he's not German. I think he's Eastern European. Which is not... It sounds like an insult. It's not. It's just, if I walked down the street in Europe, they're going to immediately probably be able to tag me as an American. Same thing, though, that you immediately... This guy comes up, you're like, that's a dude from Europe.
News and updates coming up this
I can't
February.
place the accent, though.
Let's start off with a community favourite. Frontline returns between the 2nd and 9th of February.
So, I mean, I actually do my best to not to blend in. I actually don't. I don't wear American flags and obvious stuff when I'm there. This, once again, we have a Watt Monthly with all kinds of sections. And this one's even worse, I think, than last month in terms of there's exactly one thing that has anything to do with randoms, with the No Kiddin' base game. Maybe he is British, Kedge. Maybe you're right. Yeah, that could be. But it's, I don't know. I can't place it. He has good English. Has good English. I don't, but he does. I bad English. Story of my life. Try to insult somebody and end up insulting yourself. What a maroon. Well, that probably NATO, but he's done a really good job with that. I would give him props in that area. Look, here's the thing. He's up there doing it. That's one thing I can absolutely say for the guy. I think if I was to give him feedback, it looks like a theater kid is trying to do something. You know what I mean? It looks like somebody who is maybe used to acting on a stage where everything has to be a little bit over-exaggerated is now trying to do it behind a camera, and that does not usually always translate well.
For those unfamiliar with the mode...
Now, other than dragging this poor guy, sorry brother, you're awesome. The frickin' subject of the video, I went through it, and it just struck me that everything they're talking about is a sale or some kind of collab thing or one of their extra events, except for a mention about a Valentine Day mission situation at the very end. So we have Frontline.
It is a special game mode where players fight it out on extra large maps, fighting sector by sector statistics.
We'll make you watch it all. Then we have Onslaught.
Map. Don't worry if you've fallen behind on any of the each gold rank. The LTC 2 will become available to purchase in the Onslaught Bond Shark.
Onslaught, which is putting gates up for content that if you play Onslaught and do well, then you can get and come into randoms and use, but people who play randoms can't get their hands on unless they go play frickin' Onslaught, which I can't stand. That kind of thing in gaming probably irritates me about the most of anything. I don't really understand it. So let me put it this way. I understand it. I know exactly why they're doing it. I don't understand why developers think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It is very interesting. It's very classist of them for a bunch of people who are generally against such things, don't you think? Don't you think?
In on Twitch throughout the season to earn OLS token store drops.
That's a rabbit hole
claim
you can get
prizes
into
such
right
as
there.
the Canon,
Tell you that
the
for
Canon
nothing.
and
All right, OLS Season 5. We got
Canon. You also have
Mega
the chance to
Platoon
take
for
on the Mega
OLS.
Platoon with some of your favorite content creators on February 2nd. Sprung,
What?
which
Could care less about the Mega Platoon. Then we've got...
means that there'll be a new round of Twitch drops for the Spring Token Store, including the opportunity to pick up the German Tier 7 Heavy.
So that's Twitch. Watch Twitch, get tokens, pick up the 4503, a Tier 7 tank that's been out for a million years. It's free stuff. Turn on Twitch. Watch Twitch. You know, sometimes I watch it a little bit here and there. Sometimes I just kind of gave content creators crap. I'm one of them, and I do a little bit of streaming as well. Sometimes I watch it just to see what's going on. But that's free stuff, so easy to do, right?
Tank, the VK45.0,
That's right,
brand
Clippy.
new
All
Lunar
right.
New Year event, the Jade Emperor's Challenge, returning from February 12th until the 22nd. This fast-paced, limited-time 7v7 mode has teams fighting to capture and deliver
A new mode, another 7v7 mode, the Lunar New Year event. So instead of having missions or something for randoms, you got to go play a mode. Okay.
the spirit of the Firehorse across a specially decorated map. Unique class abilities and quick rounds encourage teamwork
It's like
and
you have
constant
fire
action.
tracks or
and of
something, I
course,
don't know.
there'll be rewards available for the event.
For some reason,
We'll be
there's a coin following you around.
Sharing more details closer to launch, so keep your eyes out. A new Boosteroid bundle is arriving on February 1st, perfect for commanders who
And that is exactly it, Cliffy. That's been my suggestion in the past. He's Scottish. Okay. There you go. Yeah, just let them be available somehow otherwise. Even if it was to sell it. You know, or do another event for pubs. You know, yeah, you released it, people got it. If the concept is, you know, reward the best players, which they have publicly said, that kind of bullshit. Then do that, and then a couple years later, release it in another event where you can do it in pubs, or buy it, or do the marathon thing where you pay it down by playing the game and you throw some money at it and you end up getting it. That doesn't seem like a hard or a difficult concept. I really don't actually understand why they don't do that. I think one of the arguments is they don't want to irritate the core game players, the top tier game players. But I think they kind of lose the idea in there that they irritate everybody else. It is odd, Cliffy. It is odd. Well, we do play that game. Video game developers do play the game of scarcity, right? Trying to create false scarcity or scarcity in their game so that things become more valuable, or events become more valuable, or spending more time on the game becomes more valuable to the player. All that kind of stuff, which is all the standard video game, especially internet design ideas. But I really don't think you lose anything out of that if you do exactly what Cliffy said. A couple years later, after you release these tanks, there's other ways to get them. I would really like to see him do that.
want to keep playing World of Tanks even when they are away from their usual setup. It comes with a brand new culinary-themed commander, ready to serve perfectly cooked ammo racks alongside guaranteed monthly rewards. Jump into battle wherever you are and check out the World of Tanks portal for all the green. This
What is Boosteroid? I've mentioned it multiple times. What does it do? Does it cost money? How does it work? Cloud gaming partnership, allowing players to stream the game up to 4K. Okay, so it's actually a streaming system as well. Oh, right. Yeah. It's like a cloud-based streaming situation. Special subscription, links accounts to provide monthly in-game rewards. All right, so it is subscription. How much is it? Yeah, it's network gaming. Run World of Tanks on laptops, browsers, or smart TVs with 110 FPS. How does is it? It's been around for a while. Does it work pretty well? It started, Grendel. It actually started, and for a few years there, people were saying, "Dude, it's a scam. Don't do it." But I know we looked into this maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. My understanding is, how did I remember it? I think somebody bought it, or new owners came, or something happened, and then they kind of went legit. I think what really happened is they had a big idea that was well ahead of capability, and they started to sell the idea, which essentially looks like a scam because it's not doing what they said it would do. And eventually they sort of grew into being able to do what they said they wanted to do. It's kind of like releasing a game half finished, having people spend on it, because it's, in progress or whatever. And then eventually, some years down the road, you actually have the game you bought. I think that's essentially what they did with this service. Low latency, high performance game. I wonder how good it is. World of Tanks and Boosteroid introduce exclusive cloud gaming subscription. So what is the cost? This is a 1 November 2024, so that's when it came out. There's no actual price on the article. I just love that, man. Press release from Boosteroid. Okay, possible plan. Oh, billing plans. Yeah. Don't put the price on your article. Make people go somewhere. Oh, and then make them log in before they can get the price. All right, yeah, never mind. I hate that, man. Okay. $14.89 per month. Allows for easy connection of a World of Tanks 2.0 account to the cloud gaming service. Includes in-game rewards, gold, tanks. There's an ultra plan that's $12.89 monthly. Oh, that's the the general ultra plan. That's the basic plan is ultra. Okay, all right, sure. There's different pricing. That's weird. This says $14.89. This one says, oh no, £12.89. Okay. These packages are designed for high-performance cloud gaming. So does that mean if I do that, I only get to play World of Tanks, or do I get access to a bunch of their library? Is that it, NI? Yeah, did they buy it? I think they bought it, right? The guys who started it, that was when people were yelling about it being a scam, and then NVIDIA bought it or some such. Microsoft signed a 10-year deal with Boosteroid in March 2023. It's a partnership, not an acquisition. At least that's what Google's telling me, which could be bull. I don't know. Okay, while not owned by NVIDIA, Boosteroid is a competitor to NVIDIA GeForce Now, both serving as cloud gaming services. So there is an NVIDIA competitor. And they work with Asus for server hardware. Microsoft partnered with Boosteroid to expand access to its game library. I wonder how good it is. Anybody do it? Any of you guys use this at all? I mean, if all you had was a smart TV and you didn't have a big computer, You spent €7.5 a month. Again, depending on what the plans are and how much of the library you get access to for the price. I mean, if you're spending €7.5 just to play World of Tanks, it's an okay deal, I guess. But you can play it on your TV. I mean, I guess you would need a controller or a mouse and keyboard or something that hooks up to the TV, which is easily done these days. You've heard that it helps with ping issues, really? I mean, I would be surprised if it was any better than your computer just hooked up. Mac players, yeah, okay. So you buy a copy, but you don't have it on your... I guess if you have Steam or something, will it work with Steam? Or is this actually... So you buy it from them, I guess, and then it's in your library with them, and then as long as you pay them for the service, then you can play that game. Kind of like Steam. Yeah. Good latency? Yeah, that would make sense. Because your computer's not doing the grunt work for the graphics and stuff. That's done there. Just you've got to have enough bandwidth, latency to have it show up on your monitor correctly. I know that for a while there, some of the talking heads were talking about how all of it's going to eventually go to cloud-based gaming, or that cloud-based will be one of the biggest ones. Maybe. I mean, that feels like a 5-10 years situation. But every time we add more bandwidth, we seem to kind of still have issues. I think a lot of it, though, is infrastructure, the actual cabling and stuff. Some of the companies, providers, have some pretty old stuff. So, and it's got to do multiple hops through different places, so God knows what's going on in those local areas it has to go through. And it just doesn't magically show up at your computer or your screen. It's coming from wherever it is, and it's got to transit all of the infrastructure between you and it, and who knows. All right, cool. What were we doing? That was a bit of a... Oh yeah, we were beating up this poor dude. We're taking the piss out of the Scotsman. All right, Valentine's stream. Okay, great. So watch. He does a poem. I'm not even gonna. I'm sorry they made him do that. I hope it wasn't his idea. Then Valentine's Day missions to get us a Valentine's 3D style. And that right there, other than if you think the Valentine's stream is probably going to be streaming a regular World of Tanks, if we stretch it, there's 2 sections out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 sections. 2 of 9 that have anything to do with randoms, and really only 1 because it's some special Valentine's missions. I don't know. You know, I think what's it's indicative of is very much taking for granted the pub playing part of your customer base, which has been going on for a long time. And I think there's probably multiple things going on here. They're trying to figure out, how to monetize more. They're trying to figure out how to get more people into the game. They're looking for the next thing, whether it's a game mode or whatever, keep people energized, interested. People do play them. So maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't think so, because I think the majority of players are more casual, and it's probably, I'm like an aware casual, I guess you would call it. It may be that people who play pubs and don't pay attention to all that, it doesn't bother them because they just don't know it's there or going on. I don't know. Tier 11 is awful. So many games with less than 15, really. Wow. Yeah, I'm not playing Tier 11. I stopped after I upgraded the light tank. And I'm rarely playing Tier 10. I'm actually concentrating on my 8s. and a few 9s. 9s will see the tier 11s every now and again, but it doesn't bother me that much. All right, fellas, we've been out for an hour, and I need a little more coffee. So I'm going to refresh my coffee. We'll take a quick break. What is this guy's name? He doesn't even get a name shout out. He just has to say it. Anyway, I wish him luck. Good luck with the gig, Taito. Good stuff, Taito. Give me 5 minutes, guys. We'll be right back.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with a strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts, and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what? If you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game.
All right, we is back. He'll become an in-game commander and then promptly fired. Is that one of those conspiracy theories? As soon as you become an in-game commander and you work for Wargaming, that means you're about to be fired. It seems to have played out kind of that way a bit, doesn't it? All right, so let's take a look at this. This is awesome. I have set up in the garage here the many varied and various, maybe they're not really varied, Russian heavy 122 caliber gun activated tanks. Are the meathead decals gone? No way. Are you just making a joke, or did they take him out? The Harold Ballard of gaming. The IS-5. The IS-6. The Kurovets. The IS-3. The one tech tree version. Now we'll show them, but I mean essentially the IS-2-2. The 703-2, the Defender, the IS-3A, the other IS-6, that's the same, the K2, the 252U, and the Udarny. Holy macaroni. Man. Oh, that's true. You're right. This is only 2 100s, not 390 alpha. You're right. Although, strangely, or not, this is a 440 alpha gun. It's magically 50 better than all other 122s. Hey, Zimbo. Doing my best, man. Doing my best. It's like 66 in here, which appears to be about the best I can get in my office. Is it a 130? Oh, right. I thought it... Oh, okay, I got you. Where is modules? No, it's a 122. It's a 122, man. But it's the better one. Yeah, stronghold skirmishes. Yeah, you have a caller and all that stuff. This one goes to full 40. Yeah, skirmishes, because it's more organized, might be, for some people, the way better. It's more communal. Got a caller, you got a team. That's generally happening at night anyway. So that's yeah. There may be people who that's more or less all they play. They probably only play randoms to unlock the skirmish tanks that they want. Yeah, it's crazy. We go here on the comparison. Here's the Udarny. I just wanted to take a look at it. The Udarny is a good example of power creep. Right, Zimbo? We did it for a while. Somebody was honchoing skirmishes for a while. I know Pilgrim was involved. A couple of you guys were doing it. It just takes a lot, man. It takes a lot of organization and yeah, the IS-5 has a 122. Yeah, they all do. Every one of these has a 122, and I didn't put all of them up here. But so the Udarny is just a great example of power creep. All right, Pen 221. All right, it's a little bit less than Defender and the IS-3, but not much. Better than several of these. Rate of fire, not quite as fast as the IS-6. But for some, right, not quite as fast as the IS-6. This is interesting on the DPM. The IS-6 has the highest DPM of all of these, and it's the pref tank, so it reloads fastest at 11.22. But the Udarny is not far off at 11.51, and it's better than all the rest of these, significantly better than several of them. -6 gun depression is pretty much as good as they get. Aiming time right in there, better than most. Dispersion, actually the best other than the IS-3. So it gives it best dispersion except for one. Aiming time about as good as it gets. Second best DPM. And then we have a 300 millimeter turret. It's kind of like a super Defender, really. But there's one balancing factor. We'll look at it in just a second. Still, though, if you look at these, and I didn't put all of them up there, but in general, it's just better than all of these. Stats-wise. In fact, it's faster. It's 45. So, as good a whole armor. Thickness, we'll get to that in a minute. Great turret. One problem with it, we'll look at it. Faster. View range is low like the rest, but it's better than the IS-6, Defender, Kirovets, and K2. For some reason, it has better. It's got a taller turret, by the way. That's probably where the calculation comes from. So across the board, better, 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 better. And where it's not the best, it's the second best, essentially. Now, armor, let's look at that, because it's not exactly what it looks like with just the numbers. Look at that green dude right in the middle there. There does not seem to be a way to stop that from being green unless you get extreme angles. At which point nobody's shooting there anyway. They're going to shoot here, or if the turret's turned that way, you know, that kind of thing. Now it is an extreme V-hole, so unless you are look up or very level, you do this, and if you're a taller tank shooting down at its side, you're going to want to shoot up here, although there is some spaced armor maybe. There's a little bit here. Oh no, that's the track. So that can be tricky, although you'd probably shoot right here, right? Because you flattened out that piece there. But this thing, there's just doesn't appear to be much you can do about that spot there. Pretty easily pinned. Even at that angle, it's only 183. Now it's not huge, but it's there. And then of course this. So the 300 millimeter turret, this is one of the very few Russian heavies. A couple of the others have hatches that are ish, but that's about as big a Russian heavy hatch as you're going to get, other than the KV series that have the big tumor on top. Yeah, over angling doesn't help much. I mean, although it takes a while, that's still pretty thick, isn't it? Now again, if something's taller than you are and look down, then it starts to really make that more penetrable. I don't know if these are... the Mirakansky. So you're going to collect shots in this all day long. That's where people are going to shoot you. You're going to try to go hold down with this amazing turret. And again, that, you know, it's a smaller target, so it's not easy to hit. But just understand, and the back one can be hit too. So really either side, although this front left one, at least is left as we look at it, right on it and left to us, is pretty big. I just think that's a great example of kind of how the game goes. Where did that thing? You dare me. Interesting that the base model of it has this big machine gun on it. Which is actually pretty funny, because I don't know where this dude is standing. Unless that's some kind of automatic. I mean, I guess that could... Also, how this even shoots forward, I don't know, because there's not enough clearance there for any kind of depression, so I don't know what it's shooting. I guess it's a side and back. Oh, that may be an anti-aircraft gun, actually, now that I think about it. Those extra barrels somehow? Oh, they are. That's a triple gun mount of some kind. Sure. That's a fairly significant weapon right there. How many extra machine guns does this bloody thing have? It's got two shooting backwards. The Russians did a bit of that. I mean, do these even... They just shoot straight back? It doesn't look like they can be maneuvered at all. If they do, it's not by much. Then we've got another barrel sticking out there, and then two along the side, which frankly do not look like they're quite far enough to get to either side of the muzzle brake, but I guess they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 extra guns on it. That's where the rockets go. Yeah, you don't want to be the commander or someone sticking their head up in this hatch while this back gun is trying to shoot forward. What a weird setup. I guess it's conceivable that this thing goes upwards, but I don't think so. It doesn't look like it has any ability to lift up, but maybe it does. Maybe it's hydraulically able to lift up. I don't think so. Not with it bolted like that. Unlikely. Anyway. Me looking at World of Tanks to determine if they're realistic. might not be something that matters. It was a heck of a napkin, man. Absolutely. All right, so what else we got going on, fellas? Stop it. All right. There's not much else to report, to be honest with you. We've got just the black market. A lot of people complaining about it. They thought there might be a Dutch auction, but most likely we'll get a price decreasing Dutch auction, which didn't happen. Although this is today, so I don't know if this is something coming up. Type a lot that was used in China on the first day or during the 2025 auction for WT100. This means that whatever the item is can be bought within 5 minutes or not bought at all. We did not see that. Does that mean there's maybe another one? Don't know. Oh, nice, eighth others. Well, I'm glad you said that, because now I can go click on this clan reward, which I probably forgot a couple days in a row now. I am at, I have 3 to go. And I've got 375 out of 650, 900. Do you just get do you just get 21 for free, or is there actually a number required to get to 21, or do I just have to get to 20 and then I get it? I don't know. I'm close. Let's put it that way. I'm close. The more I forget, the less close I am. 21's for free. All right, so I need 300. I need about 1,200 points or so ish, give or take. Andy the Cupid, man, how you doing? It's going well. So I don't know if we're going to get this possible Dutch auction thing or not. This was posted today. So unknown. We already know about that. We know about that. There's also some Asia information. They got some different tanks. Watt Monthly we looked at. We looked at the XP bundle. That's pretty much all that's been going on news-wise. SPHT, I sort of wish I'd have got that, but whatever. Doing okay, not really playing tanks at the moment. The game's got away from me, really. Yeah. We were kind of discussing that a bit earlier. I have slowed down. I have slowed down considerably myself. What, Asia? What did they get first? China auction has ended. Lot 1, okay. Don't know. Who cares what China's doing, really? See, there's just nothing going on, guys. The Leox super test, so that thing, the French Leo tier 9. Got a tier 9 Russian heavy tank, the Buryan. It looks like a potentially a heavy tank. .490 Alpha, 250 pen, 315 pen with gold. Looks like just a heavy tank. Bog standard. Gun depression -6, 2.88, accuracy 0.4. DPM at 2.59. What is the reload on this thing? 11? No, that's track repair. 11.31 seconds for a 490 alpha. Is that what it was? Or 420? 490 alpha. Wow. 11 seconds for a 490 alpha with 2,000. God, what was it? 2,599 DPM. Is that high for a 9, or is that kind of right in there? Let's see. What is the... Maybe reloads pretty quick. What does it have? Oh, that's not high at all. 3,165, but I think this is with equipment. Yeah, that's with equipment. So I don't know what that will get with equipment. That sounds about right, though, doesn't it? Let's see. Add to comparison. Because the Mivi's a pretty high DPM tank. Get rid of all this equipment. Yeah, stop it. See what its baseline is. Its baseline is 2,600. All right, so that's right in there. Baseline of 2,599. So that's a fairly decent, I think, DPM tank with a 490 alpha. Today is Mystery Crate. That's right. That's right. Compare it with a 257. All right. Got the USSR. Heavy, tier 9. 257. Let's get rid of all this other crap we're not looking at now. Okay. Baseline 257 is 2,118. So this tank, let's see what we can get out of this article here with this comparison thing. 0.4 accuracy, a 257 has 0.38, so more accurate. 257 has only 2,100 DPM. This thing has 25. 257 is a 440 alpha. This thing's 490. They both have -6. This has a -5. This thing has a -6, the new one. Armor is 210 and 250 for turret. This is 130 and 350 for turret. 250 is not that great for a turret, actually, at tier 9. It's okay. What's its speed? It does 36. I didn't realize 257 was that fast. Holy cow. That's pretty good, actually. Little pocket battleship is what that thing is. So it's got the 2.5 in a couple places. I actually like the 257. I think that's a pretty good for just a heavy cyclical gun tank. 257 is pretty good. It'll get you some crazy bounces. All right, what else we got going on? I think that's about it, fellas. A reskin, SPHT. Couple new tanks. They did buff some of the SPHT stuff right before they released it. That's pretty much it, guys. Because this is getting into stuff we saw last week with the new lighting for Malinovka. I think the 257 is a hidden gem. To shoot the side of the 257, where do you shoot the side of the 257? Let's find out. Because I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oops. That's 6, not 9. 257, 3D model, live. Where do you shoot it? Right in the middle of the track area is... Here? Or here? Talking about just underneath it there? Full on side. Like, you mean right here? Oh, you're saying because they tend to aim low, thinking that's the weaker armor down low. Yeah, so they avoid this. Yeah. Or he's talking about where it's purple. Plus, you got the track issue with heat. Yeah, because a lot of times if you're aiming at a heavy or the side of a tank, you want to get, this is theoretically, usually, the weak area, but actually you want to be aiming higher on the 257's side. Yeah, it's a good point. So these are, because it's a V-hole, right? See, that's what we're talking about. That V-hole will screw you. That whole section is more or less auto bounce unless you start looking from below. So anything up high or sideways, I mean, it kind of just analog changes to penable depending on the angle, but usually this is a fairly low slung heavy. A lot of times you're a little bit taller than he is, so you're slightly looked down, or even you're bouncing. But yeah, this is the place to go. Is this? No, I thought that was spaced armor there, but it isn't. Yeah, there's no space. Yeah, so 257, shoot him there. Yeah, the V-hole will get you if you're not paying attention for sure. Yeah, its armor is troll. It does have hatches though. It is one of the Russian tanks that the hatches are not well known. It's also got that weak forecranium that a lot of the Russian tanks have, which can be overmatched because it's only 30 millimeters. Pretty easy to overmatch that. And then it's got the hatches. That you can collect a lot of shots on this tank from here if you're not careful. Cool. Or unlucky. I mean, I guess you could be careful all day long and still have people shooting it. Is that what are you going to do? Or how are you going to cover it up? Find a piece of overhang that doesn't really exist in the game. Not very often, Cliffy. You'd have to be lower on a hill or something. For sure. All right, what else is going on, guys? I think that's kind of it in World of Tanks, fellas. Oh, I see what you did there, Gator. Okay. Walked right into that one. Dang it. Oh, dirty dog, got me. So what's the plan today, fellas? We're all freezing cold in the lower 48. We're just gonna hunker down. It's funny what a difference, how differently the temperature of about 68 can feel. If it's 20 or 30 outside, 68, if you're in your house, can feel kind of cold. I mean, you can bundle up and stuff, but I'm still feeling a little cold. I think in my room here it's 66, 65. So let's call it 65. 65 doesn't feel super warm in here. I mean, it feels okay. Went snowshoeing? There you go, Kedge. Good plan, man. You gotta have the right gear though. If you got the right gear, it's not a bother. Not a bother. We don't have snow, thank goodness. But 65, if it's 100 outside and you go into a 65, it's like, oh, that's cold. And if it's 20 and you're outside and you go into 65, ooh, that's warm. But once you get inside for a while, 65, when it's cold outside, starts to feel cold. My problem is I've got a crawl space, so my floor is cold. You know, heat rises. So, and because I have a crawl space, I get a lot of seep. It's insulated, but you know that only goes so far. Double checking tier 8 loadouts, crew skills, and equipment. What are you doing that for? Oh, you're getting ready for frontline? Set to 67 during the day and winter. I want to do that so badly, Cliffy, but my family is a bit of a detriment to that. But yes, it's at 68 right now. Yeah, there you go. Check out my Christmas flower thing, man. That thing went crazy. You know, it's the bulb kind of deal. I think it's awesome. I don't know what it's called though. Can't remember. 68 is what my thermostat is set to in the mornings and evenings and daytime if the wife is out. Yeah. Yep. If it was 15C today, people out in shorts and people, that's right. You can always tell the northern transplants the first 4 or 5 years they're here or so. All winter long, they'll be in shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops. Eventually, though, they start to get acclimated. Oh, so you're on standby for construction duty as soon as the wife decides exactly what's going to happen. Oh, you're going to build it? Nice. Nice. I wish I had a shop, man. That would be awesome. I think, though, since I haven't done it all my life, I might not be very good at it. Energy bills in the UK are insane these days, paying £3,000 a year for gas and electric in a very average size house. Oof. Well, I'm not far off from you, man, in the US. What am I doing? You're talking gas and electric, so let me think about that for a second. What's my average? Probably, let's do this. I'm at $3,000 a year, I would say, easily for that. So pounds is going to be a little less than you. I don't know what, 2,000 pounds, 2,500, somewhere in there, 2,250, somewhere like that. Not far off, and it's not a very big house either. But our problem is we're running heat in the winter when it gets like this, and then we're running AC like crazy in the summer. So there's a few days of the year, there's a couple shoulder season months where it might not be on much at all one way or the other, but in the fall and the spring, sometimes it'll be 2 days of heat and 2 days of AC depending on what's going on. Thermostat, see, you're living the caveman life there, Zimbo. Yeah, I've got my warm flannel house pants on. I've got my jumper, my pullover, quarter zip. She just picks a picture and you make it. That's awesome, Gator. Good on you, man. That's a skill for sure. Gives you something to do too, right? You have a big, you like a garage guy, or do you have a big workshop, or workshop in a garage, or separate garage? What do you got? Your AC is opening the windows. Yeah, that's all the relatives. Andy in England, my wife's relatives live there. Her side of the family, her mom's side of the family are British. Over in Birkenhead and the Wirral, Heswell, a couple places out there. Shop out back, awesome. Yeah, I wish I had that. Back to the shop, Zimbo. She just sends them back out there. Gives them a cookie, a kick in the bottom, and says, do it right next time. Remember, measure twice, Gator. Don't be me. Oh, it's in Union. Yeah. Yeah, some of them live in Birkenhead. She's got one cousin in Manchester. In what's the fancy neighborhood there that all the young people want to live in Manchester? Can't think of the name right now. That's where they live. Like the downtown. I don't know if it's necessarily fancy, but it's kind of the hip Manchester neighborhood. It's not coming to me. Yep, Birkenhead is where some of them are. Her aunt's in Heswell. Liverpool's a cool town. No, not Salford. Can't believe I can't think of it right now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. trying to look it up. Posh areas in Manchester. Didsbury. Didsbury. That's it. Didsbury. Lots of good Indian food. A lot of good restaurants there, actually. For England. No offense. There's good restaurants in England. You got it. Sometimes you got to search a little bit for them. I guess that's true of anywhere, to be honest with you. Well, fellas, I think we're at the end of the coffee chat. I can hear the family kicking about. So maybe make a little bit of breakfast and see what the day is going to have for us. Frau's a little bit under the weather, so bangers and mash. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a good bangers and mash, man. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with a good roast. That's a good point. That's really anywhere, though, isn't it? You get what you pay for sometimes. Sometimes you don't get what you pay for. That's the irritating thing. We have that in our town a little bit. There's some places that are kind of pricey and really not good because you just don't have a whole lot of choices. Let's find somebody to raid. Blaster Yoda. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, dang. I don't think we've rated him. I like the name. We're going with Blaster Yoda. Why not? Why not? Got a couple of real cheap Oriental restaurants. Terrible decor, looks up. Yeah, I find that often. We have the kind of the same thing here with Mexican restaurants. Sometimes the crummy looking ones are the most real, the best. Used to be a lot of really good and really cheap places to eat here, but with food price skyrocketing, they're not so cheap anymore. Yeah, that's really anywhere though, isn't it? You go to McDonald's and try to feed 2 people and it's $30. You're like, how do we get to $30 at McDonald's? Token drops on the official stream this afternoon. Good call. Good call. Is that for the new campaign? Yeah. Actually, his thing says drops enabled, so there must be something going on. Fishing and music that you can actually hear. So Blaster Yoda. Oh, he's got a mini fishing game going on too. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to go see what old Blaster's up to. You guys have OLS tokens? Yeah, okay. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday and a good week. We will see you next week on Coffee Talk and see you on the videos during the week. And off we go, fellas. See ya.